This is the update / checkup of my prototype Lab Rat Escape. As you can see, I have a title screen with Lab Rat Escape and a random glitch effect will happen, along with some audio. Hopefully that's going through on the recording. And as you click it, you have these options: quit, and yes, we'll close the game, but we don't do that. There are some controls, and they are all accurate. Options menus, all of these affect in-game values. Video settings, these two, I'm unsure if they work. Hopefully they do. All of the texture-based ones like anti-aliasing, shadow quality, etc. all work. Brightness is not bound yet. Resolution, it works if it's kind. It's not an exact setup yet. So let's get into the level. And you should hear that, which as you can't do anything else, you should just follow the instructions and hit E. Doors will open, you step out, and they close. And you can't get back in even if you hit E, as it destroys itself. I have some light columns here to light up the room. There are some, this is your pod, and these are a different pod. And hopefully with environmental storytelling, and that yours is the different one, you should be able to tell that something isn't quite right. This will be a knife that the player could pick up and use as a melee weapon. The animations and the usage of the weapon and the weapon actor itself is not set up, so this is just the mesh imported into the game with Spotlight. But for demonstrative purposes, it will do this. You will be able to melee the door, and a procedural mesh will cut it along a diagonal axis and make it fall. You would enter this hallway, which, again, hopefully the environment around you will tell you something is not right. You would cut this again, and you enter this room. See, these should work. These teleporters should work. But for some unknown reason, they do not want to cast to this player actor, or even they don't want to affect this player actor or even its camera, because it's currently trying to use a different one. But aside this, let's just get into the UI. You have 3 abilities. This one is not active yet, as it would be a Brain Blast. This is a bomb. And of course, with the middle click ability usage, which would be listed in controls, it appears in the bottom left as a bomb, as well as a little bomb icon on the outside should indicate that this is how many bombs you have. And if you hit middle click, it does an explosion on impact. It does have a use. These actors, there you go. They have a dynamic material. When they interact with this projectile, they scroll down to 0, looking like it disintegrates, and then deletes itself as it's not an obstacle to the player anymore. And once you run out of bombs, you cannot use any more until you collect another bomb. Neat. Now, a different thing is sprint. You hold shift and move around. Your speed is essentially doubled. As long as you're not holding it, you're not sprinting, and then you hold it, etc. The green bar goes down whenever you sprint, and the little icon flashes up whenever you are full. Let's see, what else? For the gun, as you can see, we used it to shoot down the doors in place of the knife. You would be able to get this gun in the level. And as you can see, it uses normal ammunition. It has 24 in its full clip, and it did have 6. So if we go ahead and use the entire clip, you click, nothing will happen. Click again, nothing's still happening as you are reloading, and it will only cap to 6. And you can manually reload. Say you want to reload at 3, you hit R, and it goes only up to 6. First brings me to this. These are more bullets. You walk over them, and they give you an extra 3 to your maximum. Let's go on to this, the cannon. As you've just seen, the cannon comes down into view when selected, and it goes off of the energy meter whenever you middle click. Sorry, that wall was a little bright. You probably didn't see that. It fires out a projectile, which as of yet doesn't want to recognize the relative forward vector, so it just fires wherever it wants. This does use up the energy bar, as I've said, and this will have a use later on to maybe power some things for an obstacle later in the level. But if you switch off of it, it will go out of view, so it's not a hindrance on the screen. And that ability menu was with tab. And Q for this menu, as you've already seen the gun. The knife, this is what you would select to bring out the knife. As you can see, the bottom right icon changes into the said knife. This one is the chemical gun, which will have different effects on enemies whenever you shoot them with it. The default is acid, which is just prolonged damage. It currently does not have anything. The mesh for its ammunition is in the game, but it doesn't have any programming along with it. Also, these close buttons fully work. Or you can click one of the ammo kinds, and it will actively track whichever ammo kind you have. But acid is the default. So let's go on to any of the other items. The teleporters should have worked, but they did not for some unknown reason. These are the keys. You will need to pick these up throughout the level as the collectible and use what will be in the first room, the key assembler. Obviously, you'll be able to tell what it will be by looking at it, or even via prompt in the actual level. You will need all 3 pieces to assemble together and give you a full key. So if you only collect 2 and come back to it and hit E, you will have not enough keys. So go over and collect all the pieces, hit it, it takes away all of your existing parts and gives you the complete thing, a full key, which you would use to finish and escape the level. The last thing that I want to show off is the health regeneration. I'm going to hit T, and this animation will play showing you are hurt. And if you noticed in the top left, the little rat icon did a little hurt face. With this item, which currently does not have a a mesh to it, it gives you an extra piece of health. Normally this is measured out of 10. And I believe that is it. These 2 are grayed out, as they will not feature in the level, as I may not have the time, so I have just disabled them. There is a pause menu, but since we are in editor, the escape button will not work, so I'm using J. This start button is having trouble figuring out what to do. As you can see, you can hear sounds with the menu. Options, controls, and exit all work as normal.